For many of you trying to start your influencer marketing agency, trying to get an influencer marketing platform and software is just going to be completely unreachable for you right now. With extremely high fees and long-term commitments, it's just not sustainable for a small up-and-coming agency to get an influencer marketing software. Personally, we pay multiple thousands of pounds a month and are committed to over a year for using our influencer marketing platform Tagger. That's why in this video, I want to give you a full walkthrough of how we use our influencer marketing platform Tagger and all the stuff that it comes with, so you can consider it to see whether it's going to be useful for you in the long term or something you should maybe start looking at potentially getting right away if you can afford it. Before we start this video, who am I? What do I do? I'm Suhit. I'm the founder of Solidus Media, a premium influencer marketing agency focused on gaming, esports, tech, entertainment. And over the last 5.5 years of running, we've served brands such as Asus, Acer, Netflix, AB InBev, and Ubisoft, and we have run thousands of high-performing influencer marketing campaigns. So I feel like I'm very qualified to teach you about this and show you how we use our influencer marketing platform. So let me jump on my laptop and let me show you how we use it. As you can see here, we are using Tagger, and Tagger is our influencer marketing platform. And on Tagger, you can do a few things. You can build strategy, find creators, and run campaigns. So I'm going to start with the first one, which is the creator discovery section, because that's going to be the most valuable thing to go over immediately. In Tagger, you can jump into this creator discovery place and you have access to profiles. And I think there are about 8 million profiles now on the platform, ranging from massive creators all the way down to super small creators, 1 subscriber or something. But this platform really has everything. So you can use it for creator search and getting deep dive information on influencers. So if we start with just creator search, I can filter and find creators based on multiple different sort of filters. So I can look at platforms, Instagram and the size of their profiles, or YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and TikTok. I can look at their audience. I can look at where their audience is based. So for example, if I want a creator who's based in, has an audience that's 50% US plus, based on my campaign's targets, their language, even their race as well, and their demographic similarities. I can look at the actual profile, right? Is it an individual? Is it a brand? What category is the individual in? Genders, locations. There's so many things here. And then you can also search directly on keywords as well, which is one of the most powerful things ever, right? So if you have a creator who has posted about, a certain brand, or they've posted about a certain thing, maybe they've posted about plants and you're looking for a creator to talk about plants because it's a gardening campaign or something, you can type that keyword in and it will pull through all the creators who have mentioned that either in their channel or either mention that in their content or any sort of post. So it's super powerful like that as well. And you can also create your own filters here. So, you can obviously look at, labels. We've got a bunch of labels created, like the types of genre they're in. Do they have a website listed? Do they have an email listed? Because maybe you want to just find creators that already have emails listed, and other things here like their growth rate. And you can use multiple filters at once, right? I could filter down, right? I want to find people who have, at least 5 million followers on Instagram and their audience is, mostly male, 66% above male, right? And you can find all of those in. So obviously here we've got, a bunch of sports athletes. Obviously, we've got Ronaldo, Leo, Virat Kohli, LeBron James, stuff like that, right? So super powerful, super intuitive, and we use this personally to find creators for our campaigns and really niche down on keywords that might be more applicable to our campaigns. So next thing you can do on this is, once you find those creators, you can actually go and get super high level and deep dive as well information onto the creator. So if we go into Ronaldo's profile right now, who is the biggest creator on Instagram, you can see things immediately on his overview section of his growth rate, how fast is he growing in terms of the last 90 days on all of his platforms, his engagement rates as well on all of his platforms, and the estimated fees that he can charge per post. So as you can see here, Ronaldo can charge from 2 million to 11 million a post on his Instagram, which is crazy. You can see his top performing content, and obviously this Messi one with him did really well last time. You can see, as I say, the estimated fees per posts. So you can see obviously on his reels he can charge X amount, stories, other kind of posts, carousels, gender breakdowns, who he's affinity to, other profiles he's got affinity to, who he talks about on his socials. So you can really find a lot of information here. The analytics, so their content health, how does their posting look over the last, certain 90 days? What is their engagement against benchmarks? Engagement by content type. So really, really granular data here that allows you to get very specific within campaigns. You can look at their mentions. So what type of categories are they mentioning? Who's mentioning them? What sort of people are mentioning Ronaldo? So what profiles are mentioning Ronaldo here? The history of mentions. So when they were sort of the reach of since they were mentioned, and then what sort of content were they mentioned in as well. You can look at affinity. What profiles have similar demographics and audience audience to them as well. So obviously you can see Neymar and all the footballers have obviously got similar to Ronaldo. You can do that by brand and influencer. So maybe you want to see what brands are similar to the influencer they're looking at. You can look at their content. So I can go specifically into content, and I can see here, right, he posted this 5 days ago. They're the likes, the comments, the shares, engagements, the earned media values, the estimated impressions. So a huge amount of value you can get here. And you can also see like where they're based. Obviously quite difficult for footballers right here all over the world at all times. He's obviously no longer based in Madeira. He's now based in Saudi Arabia. So I could go ahead and update that because he's now based over there for his new contract because he moved to the Saudi League. And then, you know, you can add custom stuff here. Like for example, we've got our, you know, custom fields that we've got here, and you can see what campaigns he's featured in as well. Obviously we've not got Ronaldo in any campaigns. Hopefully in the future, that'd be amazing. So that's the influencer search section, which is super high value. Then going into signals, what I want to look at is the bit that you can build strategy for. So the idea here is that you can go ahead and use a social listening tool that they've built into the platform called Signals. So if we go to here and learn more about Signals, as I say, is basically a platform that is built to identify consumer trends and help glean actionable insights for Tiger's creator community. So it uses the inventory of 9 billion pieces of content from over 7 million creators, allows you to query data using keywords, hashtags, and then build strategies for brands. So you can use that to search up stuff. For example, you know, I can look at a brand and one of our clients, Sandbox VR, I can look at and see, right, who's mentioning Sandbox VR on social, and this can help me look at saying, okay, if I can see what creators have been mentioning Sandbox VR since April 1st, 2023, it means that I'll be able to see, okay, what are they mentioning them for? Why? What are they posting about them? And then it allows me to go and check and see potentially whether that creator might be a good fit for the brand. Because obviously if the creator is already organically mentioning the brand, it means that they could already be a good fit for a campaign because their audience is already in tune to them. So you can see stuff like that, see stuff like content, the brands we mentioned in, the locations of the brands we mentioned in by all these platforms, and really build strategy and data. You know, to give you a good example of, you know, I built a strategy here for a brand called Suits Me. So, you know, if it's a financial brand focused at to have lower economic income people, and you can look at stuff like identifying the target audience, you can look at consolidated strategies, you know, who are influencers who have posted content mapping to Suits Me, what content has done well and what content performs best related to Suits Me, when's the best time to run a campaign, so based on when there's the highest search volumes, you know, what sort of channels are performing best against competitor analysis, where the influencers are located, and then also like product line strategies. So you can really look at like strategies here as well as like who's talking about current accounts specifically, who's talking about credit cards specifically, who's talking about loans, and really map out a very complex strategy for a brand. And it's really simple to do. You can build these off custom profiles, or you can use playbooks. So I can come in here and I can create a report based on a playbook. So maybe I want to do a competitive analysis on a brand's mentions, and you can basically go ahead and use a report and basically say, right, who's a brand that I want to look at? So let's say it's Rolex as an example, and who are 3 competitors of Rolex? So it'd be Audemars, and you might want to look at Cartier, Patek Philippe, Geneva, and you can create a report, and then these will automatically give you reports that are already made by Tiger. So these are playbooks that allow you to give metrics of key details and insights on how Rolex is keeping up against the competitors. So how people have been mentioning Rolex comparative to Cartier, for example, most engagement rates. So as you can see, you know, Cartier is coming out on top on social media. So it's a really powerful one, Signals, and I highly would recommend it. We use it a lot for planning out strategies for brands. Coming into another section, you can do report builders. You can create reports about influencers. So for example, you could create like a talent deck. So let's just call it test. And you can basically create reports you can export very quickly. So let's say, for example, I want to import using labels, and let's say I want to put in some CSGO creators. I can then add them in, and then this report then will give me a nice sort of PDF report of a bunch of creators, their data, their demographics, and then I can go ahead and like them directly export that and send that in a PDF form. It's pretty simple, but it's a really nice touch. It means I don't have to create like my own custom PDFs and spreadsheets and take all the data manually. I can just report it directly out in that format already from Tiger, which is really good. And then the final part of Tiger is the project section. And the project section is basically where you can run campaigns for brands and track that all. So we track a lot of campaigns within here for our brands, and we can basically get all the data, store it all automatically within here. So if I go ahead and I'll create now a test campaign, let's just create a test campaign in here, and I'll show you how this works. So basically what you can do is to create a test campaign within a project. So basically you would create a project. So we would usually call the project like the brand's name. So let's just call this test campaign, paying for video. You would set the start date of the campaign. So whenever the campaign is going live, so let's say it starts today and it ends in exactly 1 month on the 7th of February, whatever the currency of the campaign is, and then what brand you're doing the campaign for. So let's just say it's Rolex as an example again, just because that's the first thing that's on my mind. You hit add, and then you can go ahead and start creating a lot of stuff around the campaign. So you can set up a campaign overview, what the campaign budget is. So let's just say it's £5,000, save that. Then you can do monitoring. So when is the campaign being monitored for? Are we monitoring the brand's mentions? And then any keywords, hashtags, and phrases that we have to monitor for. So for example, let's say if someone mentions Rolex in a content, someone maybe mentions the Rolex partner, maybe someone mentions, Wimbledon. I know Wimbledon obviously isn't happening right now, but Rolex is a sponsor. And then basically what this means is that any creators who are in the campaign that then have these mentions, their content will automatically be pulled into the campaign, which means you don't have to go and manually go and find all the content. So if you're working on a campaign with 1,000 creators, it's a lot of work to go manually pull in all that data. Tagger will automatically do that for you. You can then set up stuff like the creator flow, which means that you can go ahead, set up a workflow that your creators can have within the campaign. So that's whether you can actually invite your creators directly through their own creator portal, but then also the stuff internally for your team. You can set up a proposal, so you can go and set a proposal to creators to accept to join the campaign. You can do content planning, so how many posts I want for this campaign. We're trying to get 5 posts on Instagram, and you can set link tracking as well. So you can basically type a destination link and you can track all the clicks for a campaign. As I say, you can set that up here. You can actually message and outreach directly to creators from Tagger as well. Track what metrics you want to track, what engagement rates, estimated impressions, how you want to track them. You can include combined reach and everything like that, who has access, and then collaborators. So what's really powerful as well, you can directly invite your clients to Tagger. So I can directly say I can invite someone at Rolex, and then they could get access to see the campaign, so they can get live data feeds feeding into them, automatically updated. So it's really powerful for that. This is just a bit of an overview dashboard for how many creators are pending your internal review. Have you outreached to certain creators? Have you sent proposals? Have you got a contract stage? You can manage the whole creator flow from here. So I'll use an example. I'm just going to add myself. So you can go ahead and add a creator to the Tagger campaign. You can then click in here. You can actually go and reach out to them, email them. So say, subject is, hey, join my campaign. Then you can actually email the creator directly from Tagger. So this would be sent to them as an email, which is sick. You can then set internal notes, potential fit for a campaign. So that means that if another one of your colleagues comes in, they can come and see, we've already reached out to that creator and, Suhit said they're potential fit for a campaign. You can see if they've connected their accounts. You can get notifications for them. You can basically choose if your internal review, and the way you would do the internal review is basically you can come in, you can see and check their profile. So for example, my Instagram account has been losing followers recently. My Twitter account's been increasing followers. TikTok's been increasing. My YouTube's been increasing. Is their content? What's their highest bits of content? The authentic followers, audience demographics, where their following's from, and you can go and approve or disapprove them. So I want to approve Suhit for the campaign. You can share your thoughts, approve them there. It comes back into here. It's their proof for the campaign. You can set up costs and fees. So how much am I going to pay for this content? Send out a proposal to the influencer and then add planned content. You can also integrate directly with Shopify, which means that if I need to send out products to the creator, I can do that directly from the platform, which is super powerful. You can send out a contract, publish content, do payments and everything like that. You can then also do content approval. So I could plan content once let me hire myself first. So you can hire the creator in this section. You can then plan content out. So then I could say, okay, this guy, I've got content approved here. And what you can do as well, which is really powerful, is approve all the content via Tagger. So the creator can submit the content to you through the platform. You can then do the approvals, send the content to the brand for approval once you've approved it internally, and just manage absolutely everything via here. So it's a full influencer marketing project management, really, full campaign management tool here. And then you can do summary, and the summary will give you examples of how the campaigns perform. So you can add in content here, so you can add in content manually. Obviously as well, if anything was monitored, if I'd posted anything about Rolex for the campaign, it'd be automatically pulled in here, and you can get information on content, views, engagement, link clicks. There would be one here which is about cost metrics as well, when you set up cost per click, cost per CPM and things like that, so cost per mil. And on the screen I will basically throw a screenshot up here just now to give you an example of how that looks. I'll give you a little screen recording of how that looks for an actual campaign that we've done with all of the data in here, because obviously this one isn't filled up and used. You can also then do cross campaign summaries. So for example, I can look at for the past year and select a couple of campaigns and see how they performed against each other. These two don't have data over the last year because these were both earlier, right? But that's just to give you an example. That's something you can do, and you can compare the performance between two campaigns within here. So super powerful platform. These are expensive platforms. They're not cheap. They're not cheap SaaS, but they're very high value. And when you have the money to be able to invest in them, it's a high highly recommended because you really just do a few things. You get better data and you save a lot of time, which ultimately can help you make more money going forward. And that's it. That's a quick run through of Tiger, how we use our influencer marketing platform and how it helps us in our daily workflow, all the way from discovery of creators, vetting and finding creators for approval, and then actually running full-scale campaigns and managing them there and doing strategy via signals and social listening. We pay tens of thousands of pounds a year for a platform like this, but it has helped us sign and land lots of clients. So it's something to consider as you grow in your influencer marketing journey about when you want to take that on, because then obviously if you can spend this amount of money per year and you can sign X more clients, it does become an ROI at that point. So it's a really powerful, intuitive platform. Now, if you've made it to the end of this video, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I want to give you a little gift. In the top link in the description, there is a link to my free influencer marketing Telegram community. And what you can do is you can go ahead and join that and you get free daily influencer marketing value, tips and tricks. What it means is that we're helping you win with influencer marketing. You can reach out to my team for free. And what it means is that you don't have to wait every 7 days for a brand new YouTube video to be dropped on my channel. You just got to jump in that influencer marketing Telegram and reap the rewards of all the free content we put in there. Fit for brands, fit for agency owners, and fit for employees in agencies. It doesn't matter who you are. That's really it for the influencer marketing Telegram. So definitely join that and reach out to us there. And what would be really appreciated as well if you would smash a like on this video for helps me with the algorithm, subscribe as well and leave notifications on. And also if you could leave a comment, that would be super useful. Give me some feedback. What did you like of this video? Did you find something new about Tiger? Do you want me to go something more in depth in a future video? It'd be really useful for me to format upcoming videos. Other than that, thank you so much and I will see you in the next video.